and hydrological streams, and our study area was within the Pra Basin. So the Pra is one of the most important basins because it provides a lot of agricultural productivity as well as ecosystem services. So within the basin, you can find large oil palm and cocoa plants being cultivated there. So it's one of the most important agricultural lands or agroecological areas we have in Ghana. But the competing needs and accessibility to water resources is being noted because there are a lot of developmental projects, including irrigation dams. People are also encroaching the basin for their building needs. Hence, there's a need. Also, the recent climate change impacts are also threatening the availability of water resources within the basin. So there's a need for us to assess how the future impact of climate is going to affect water resources within the basin. So we use SWOT model and the new CMF6 global climate models for the impact assessment. So these are some of the input parameters for the SWOT model, which includes rainfall data and soil map and land use data. So this is just the general methodological approach which you feed it. So I will not talk much about that. So I will just move on to the results. So we found that SWOT was basically able to simulate or model the stream flow within the basin. So we found or we deemed it that it was very good for us to use it to predict or project the future hydrological processes which might occur in future. So within our analysis, we found that for precipitation, it's going to vary within the future. So we took a 30-year duration for this. So we compared the past or historical data, which was for 30 years, and we also compared for mid-future and near future. So they were all in 30 years duration. So we found that for precipitation is going to reduce when we compare it with the historical trends. However, for temperature, we found that even when you consider SSP2, which is basically the business as usual, if we want to continue the current trend of carbon dioxide release and other activities which contribute to climate change or greenhouse effect, we found that if for SSP2, temperature is going to increase or continue going to increase. The same for SSP5 when there are more or a whole lot of economic activities ongoing. For the change in stream flow, we found that within the basin, the stream flow is mainly contributed by the water to the river basins being contributed by precipitation. So once precipitation is going to reduce, so we also found that in future, the stream flow is also going to reduce significantly. And we realized that under the SSP2 is going to reduce by about 20.8%, which is at the business as usual scenario. And for extensive economic activities, is going to reduce by 28%. So therefore, water availability might become an issue, especially for farming activities and also for consumption. We also did some extreme flow analysis, and we realized that for the basin or for the river channel, if the flood occurs or probability of flood which exceeds this limit, which is 510 cubic meter per second, then there's probability of flood. So under the extreme flow analysis, we found that at certain periods in time, then we might experience flood, because though the precipitation is going to reduce, but what we experience is we are going to experience shorter raining days, but significantly heavy downpours. So the precipitation or the rainfall will come at a very heavy rate or intense speed. So this is just the summary of the research finding. Now for the basin, mostly water is being lost through evapotranspiration and also surface runoff. And as I already said, the rainfall patterns might change in future, where we are going to have the rainy will be intense, but with the duration or the number of days you are going to have rain is going to reduce. Temperature is going to continually increase, so we are going to experience more hotter weather or hot weather conditions within the Pra Basin and its environment. And stream flow is also going to reduce. And also probability of flood is going to be okay since there are going to be incidents of flash floods due to frequent and intense precipitation events. So with this, what can we do so that at least we are able to prepare ourselves for whatever is coming ahead, which is increased temperature and reduced precipitation? We need smarter ways to manage the water. So all of us need to come into, and some of these are sustainable crop production. As I said earlier, within the basin, the major cash crops grown there are the cocoa and oil palm. So we need to incorporate agroforestry systems within the basin so that at least the water use efficiency can be optimized within the basin. And we can also do some land tenure arrangement where we're able to assist and also train farmers on adopting these agroforestry and also the smart water management systems within the basin. So in conclusion, climate change is real and is going to affect our water resources. So all the stakeholders, including the researchers, the policymakers, the NGOs, and also the founders or donators, should all work hand in hand so that at least once researchers come out with their results, they will be also able to get funding and also policymakers to implement whatever policy recommendations that they give, as well as funders to also fund these the entrepreneurs who can help make some of these objectives and findings comes into reality or being able to practice within the basin. So basically, this is what I have to present.